Sometimes when I'm working through a big idea or have a huge project coming up, I call someone I trust, someone who knows how I think. That way I can bounce ideas off them. The most powerful use case for generative AI is as a thought partner. And when you think through something with someone, generally you want them to understand how you think. It's a shortcut. It's a way for us to get to a solution quicker. Well, thanks to generative AI, you can now build that thought partner, what I'll call your mini-me GPT. How do we do it? 2 steps. First, ask the AI to do deep research on you. If you're like most people, you've been on the internet someplace. You've made posts. There are articles about you. So ask the AI to do the work of collecting information about you and have it do it 5 or 6 times. Then, I'm sure you have transcripts, articles, essays, cards. All of that is data. And if I take those reports and I take those transcripts and I give them to an AI and say, hey, can you help me think through something like me? Now, I've just created an AI mirror to myself. And the best part is, it's dynamic. So every time you do that new presentation or submit that new PowerPoint, you simply give that to your AI. And now, it can continue to mirror your thinking. You want AI to communicate more effectively with you, and you're struggling to get it to do so. I mean, after a few conversational back and forths, it gets there. But wouldn't you love it to just do that at the beginning? Here's a magic trick for you. Go through that whole conversation. Work with the AI, coach it. Go through the frustrating moments. But at some point, just like working with a new hire or an intern, you'll get it to the point where you want it. Now you don't want it to revert, right? That's the frustration. But guess what? I can delegate to the AI to do work for me. So now go to that AI chat and say, hey, look at how we communicated. Look at what we talked about. Can you tell me what would have made that communication better? How we could have worked more effectively together? And then say, what prompt should I have given you at the very beginning of this conversation so that we could have gotten there immediately? Instead of me having to tell the AI how to communicate with me, I simply communicate and I ask AI to look back at our conversation, assess how we communicate, and then remember how to do that again. It doesn't just help me communicate with AI. It actually helps me communicate with anyone. How do I stay up to date with all of these new AI tools? How do I continue to develop in this world that is so AI forward? How do I use AI in my own personal development? As odd as it sounds, I now record almost every conversation I have, at least in the house. And the reason I do that is to hear how I communicate with my kids. After about a week of capturing that information, I actually asked AI, can you give me any feedback? It told me there are actually a lot of times you rush to reprimand your daughter without working through the problem with her. I was astounded. Not because I had originally done this not just to get coaching, but to sort of remember things throughout the day. But I was astounded because it was so simple, something I knew, and yet I hadn't noticed I wasn't doing. That small anecdote captures the power of communicating with AI through language, and the fact that that's the same language we use to communicate with everyone around us. This means that now every communication with AI or with anyone can become an opportunity to develop yourself, to see how is it I'm coming across to others, to ask, how could I become better? When I work with AI and I ask it to create a prompt for me, I also say, how can I communicate better with you in the future? And then I say, what are some tips you might have for how I communicate outside of AI that I can take with me? It's not always spot on, but it helps me to think. And once I start thinking, I start diving deeper, which is how, in my mind, we continue to develop ourselves.